This month's full moon is a potent time for forward momentum, and we have some big players in the celestial game who are causing some commotion we have to pay attention to. Let's find out what's being offered to us. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, I'm Leeor Alexandra. Welcome to the B community. On this channel, we talk about the law of attraction, spirituality, self-development, and so much more. And a couple times a month, I like to tap into the collective unconscious, feel the energy that's being offered to us by the planets, the celestial bodies, mix that in with some card pulls and just intuition. And I do these energy readings that help us to navigate the month ahead. In today's video, I want to talk about the Virgo full moon. I'm going to offer some insights, some themes that I've picked up on. I have several really good journal prompts at the end. You're going to really get the most out of the Virgo and Piscean energy that we have during this time. You'll be able to orient yourself. This is bothering me, but then this is bothering me. Oh, now I pointed it out. Everyone's going to be bothered by it too. And then if it's aligned, we're going to finish off with a card pull, which everyone really liked in the last new moon reading. So I will happily continue to do it because it's one of the best ways, I think, to tap into what's coming up for us as a collective and to see what the energy wants to guide us through. So I would be remiss not to speak about one of the most significant astrological movements, events of this year. And as I'm quite superstitious, I want to talk about it first as to not offend the sphere of consciousness that is wisdom, discipline, and karma. Saturn is moving out of Aquarius and into Pisces on the same day as the Virgo full moon, March 7, 2023, where it's going to be going in and out of, I think maybe once or twice over the next 3 years. So a big congratulations to my loves born between 91 and 94, myself included, for completing our first Saturn return. Some of you, like myself, may have gone through a difficult last few years, sprinkled with some really high points. For some of us, it may have been only good, right? Saturn returns could be a time where, like, you get married if that's what you're looking for, or you buy a house, or you build a new business, or you have a baby. It's just a time of like new responsibilities, bigger responsibilities, right? For me and for a lot of you, I'm sure it was really difficult. We had our Saturn return during a global health crisis, and a lot happened in the last 3 years, a lot. So that was the extra cherry on top. But now we're essentially being welcomed into spiritual adulthood. We're stepping into our wiser era, and we're doing that even more fully with our next Saturn return, which will come in about 27 years, I believe. So a special shout out to our wise men and women born from 62 to 64 as well for completing their second return. And if there's anybody watching who's completed their third Saturn return, you're amazing. We are in awe of you and would love to hear all your wisdom. And then we have our Saturn in Pisces babies born in the mid-90s. It's your turn now because Saturn is leaving its home in Aquarius. It's moving into Pisces for the next 3 years. Your Saturn return is nothing to be afraid of. I would say it's something to be honored, venerated, respected. When we go through a Saturn return, we learn how to overcome obstacles and challenges in a whole new way. Our consciousness is expanded way further than the bounds that it was when we were younger. A big part of my Saturn return was about learning and establishing boundaries. So if you were like me before my Saturn return, I literally did not know how to prioritize myself, how to say no to anybody, or how to ever put myself first. And becoming an adult and having this experience really has allowed me to do that now. I'm able to feel out if something feels right for me. And if it doesn't, then I'm not going to put everything else and everybody else ahead of me. I'm going to say no. That was a big thing for my Saturn return. My emotions were all over the place, but ultimately it was really the most beautiful expansion ever, and I'm excited for you. We get to step into the full autonomy of our bodies. That's a powerful thing. And for anyone outside of the Saturn in Pisces, of course, Saturn in Pisces is going to be affecting all of us. It's not just people with that placement. However, it will affect people with big Pisces placements even more than everybody else. So that's in your top 3, or maybe your Venus. So on March 7th, the same day as the Virgo full moon, Saturn will be moving into Pisces. It's bringing discipline and structure over the next few years into the way that we experience spirituality. this could show up as maybe some sort of gatekeeping around spirituality as well, or maybe some sort of people in the spiritual nature taking more responsibility over the way that maybe a religion or a culture has been expressed over the last however long. You want to look at where you have Pisces in your birth chart. Wherever that is, Saturn will be bringing to light some challenges in that area that are going to just help you to expand. For example, this is just intuition. You know, Pisces is my rising sign. I do feel like there might be a shift or a restructuring or a new understanding to how I am perceived, especially in terms of spirituality. Now, I'm a cup half full person, so I'm of course expecting this to be a positive change, especially since I have awareness around this. So I'm hoping that this is just a restructuring of how I'm perceived as I step more fully into my wise woman era, or that I can relay new sorts of wisdom in this new chapter of my life as I get married, start a family. Let's see how that plays out. At its worst, Saturn in Pisces can bring a sense of chaos, but also a sense of mystery and embracing the mystery, right? We're moving forward, but we don't really know where to, which if you really think about it is how life is every single day, right? Not one of us knows what tomorrow will really bring. At its best, however, Saturn in Pisces can bring spirituality to the forefront and recenter society around the great mystery. Saturn in Pisces can bring a restructuring of how we see reality, right? For example, Einstein's theory of relativity was first published in 1905, which I believe was a Saturn in Pisces year. So that's a really big event that I'm sure we'll talk about several times over the next few years. I hope to have you around during these conversations, and I hope to be able to reference this video 3 years later and see where we're at. If you want to be around for that with our community, make sure you're subscribed and that you have your notifications turned on right now. And if you like the video so far, right before we get into the full moon insights, please give it a thumbs up. It really, really helps the channel. Now let's get into this month's full moon in Virgo, which is happening on March 7th at 4:40 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. This Virgo full moon is bringing our attention to things that we may have been neglecting. Now, if you're watching this and something's coming up and you're like, oh my God, I have been neglecting that thing, it's time to pay attention to it. Amazing, you have this awareness and you can start working on it now. If nothing is coming up for you yet, it will through your emotions around things. You're going to feel this out around the full moon, especially in the 3-4 days around the time of March 7th, 4:40 a.m. So it's going to come into your conscious awareness that there's something that you may have been neglecting and you want to take care of it. You want to tend to it. During this time, we're going to be taking inventory of our lives. That's the Virgo energy. And we're supported in making strong changes, especially in letting go of anything that's bringing us anxiety, especially such as bad habits, and around finding a balance between the masculine and the feminine, around the flowy, watery energy and the grounded masculine structured energy. We have that Pisces and Virgo energy, the sun and the moon. So as we know, full moons are a time where things are coming into completion. The light of the full moon is illuminating things that we may have not been paying attention to. Again, that energy, it's revealing something. It's bringing light to the corners of our subconscious mind and bringing something into conscious awareness. So things drift up from the subconscious up to the top. The light is illuminated and there's a bright light cast on these things. So full moons are a really good time for shadow work and for inner work because our triggers are brought to the surface. The things that are bothering us, the irritability comes to the surface and we can more easily pluck it, observe it, analyze it, process it, and through awareness, move through these things. You don't need a specific technique or method to move through anything. It's basically just like, can I be aware of what's coming up and can I feel it instead of distracting myself? Often we will come into awareness of something that's bothering us. Maybe there's feelings of jealousy or inadequacy or insecurity or self-doubt or not trusting ourselves or somebody else. And when these uncomfortable feelings rise to the surface, we often grab something, turn something on, leave the house, we distract ourselves in some way. We buy something, right? We consume something. If we can learn, especially around the time of the full moon, to sit with these uncomfortable emotions and just kind of like be in a state of non-consumption. You don't even have to meditate. You just sit with it and feel it. There will be a desire with the Piscean energy to kind of daydream, and that will serve as a distraction. We don't want to be doing that right now. We want to bring our attention back to the present, the emotions that are there. And when you sit with these things in silence for enough time, not only will they be processed through your neural pathways, through the body, because you're emotionally digesting these things, you'll also receive inspiration, intuition, and guidance from your deep self, from your higher self, who will help you to work through these things. So the choice here is up to you. Do you use this full moon to process through something that's been coming up for you, or do you continue to distract yourself, run from these things, and allow them to keep chasing you? Walk up to the lion and it cowers, run from it and it chases after you. So it's totally up to you. You have a decision to make around this time. Intentions on the full moon are revisited. The intentions that we set during the new moon, have they bloomed? Or can you bring your care and spiritual faith back to these little seeds that you planted in the new moon? Can you care for them so that they'll blossom in future full moons? Can you remember that everything will blossom in divine timing if properly tended to? Now, in this full moon specifically, we have Virgo energy coming in to clean house. Okay, and I say this in a literal and metaphysical and metaphorical way. Once your attention has come to the ways in which you may be limiting yourself, you can clean them out. Like I was saying, process, bring everything into awareness. And you'll come out of this feeling so much lighter, because full moons can feel a little heavy. They can feel a little intense. But on the other side of them, if we've used them for our personal development, we're upgraded versions of ourselves every single lunar cycle. That's huge. Most people don't do this. This gives you an advantage, an upper hand in your personal development. Now, Virgo energy is an energy of perfectionism. It's of an energy of wanting to do things correctly. And of course, when we say correctly is according to the individual. There's not one right way to do things. It's an analytical energy. So it's a really good time to analyze what's working in your life and what's not working in your life. And Virgo energy is very in service of others, sometimes to a fault, sometimes to Virgos can tend to be martyrs, where they will sacrifice themselves for the cause or for other people. So we want to make sure that we don't get lost into that energy and to just kind of take the positive from the Virgo traits. That's what we do every month, right? How can we integrate that dark side but veer towards the positive, the light, which is serving others? So what I'm going to share in the to-do is, maybe if you've been feeling like you're in a stagnant place, if you've been feeling stuck or really down, use this energy and be in service to others, and see how when putting yourself aside this time and putting others' needs and kind of being there for other people and being in service to other people, you're going to find your own contentment and joy and fulfillment. And of course, making sure to not go too far onto the other side of this coin, which could be that martyrdom, like really sacrificing yourself for others, because that's not going to help anybody. You never want to forget to prioritize your needs, right? Prioritize yourself. But if you've been feeling really down, a really good way to get out of that is to do things for other people. Puts you out of your own way, out of your own obstacles and challenges, and reframes the picture. It's really a powerful method. So we have a lot of Pisces energy during this full moon too. We have 4 planets in Pisces once Saturn moves into Pisces. Pisces energy is really about just being, just flowing, right? So there will be this push and pull from the masculine and the feminine in this energy of I just want to be, and also this energy that's pushing you to keep going, to keep moving forward, encouraging you to complete something that you may have started, or to really go for something. And I say that you can do both. It can be this and that. It's a duality, a relaxed floating through what you need to do. So get things done, but rather than in the neurotic Virgoan sense of it, kind of in more of a relaxed, flowy sense. As a side note, when it comes to love and money during this time, we have really auspicious placements, and I see positive and harmonious energies coming in for relationships, and expect money to flow in more easily, especially when you prioritize your own happiness. And like I was saying just a moment ago, if you haven't been able to find your own happiness, then perhaps being of service to others will open the floodgates of abundance for you. We have a theme of really releasing anything that's giving us anxiety, especially bad habits. If there's something that you've been wanting to give it up on March 7th with this full moon. Let it go. Let it fully just surrender this from your character. You can do this. Use the Virgo energy to come in and clean house, analyze what's serving, what's working, what's not. Trim the fat, right? Only keep what works. This is the time for that. If you've been wanting to quit smoking or quit binge eating or quit starving yourself, or if you've been wanting to implement a positive new habit, this is the time to do it, to really full force go for it. If it may be cutting a toxic person out of your life that's really, an energy vampire, they're draining you, this is the time. Another thing I've picked up on is something will be revealed, something that you haven't been paying attention to is coming to the surface to be dealt with. Doesn't necessarily have to be anything big. Maybe it's like you've been neglecting a friend and it's really time to bring them back into your life because you want them in your life. Or maybe you've been neglecting your exercise and you want to bring that back. Something that's been neglected and is in the subconscious. Suddenly you're going to look and you're going to be like, oh, right, I forgot about this. I need to be doing this. Another theme is a lot of forward momentum. So you're going to want to get things done. You're going to be making analytical choices. If you've been wanting to complete something the right way, you will do it during this time. Another theme is your intuition. So the Pisces energy is pushing us to trust our intuition. Yeah, we have all the Virgo full moon, which wants us to be practical, down to earth, grounded, but the Pisces energy is going to be like, but listen to your intuition. Listen to your body. And then we have Uranus energy also. It's coming to bring us something unexpected, something that you've been wanting to happen. It's not fully here yet though. It's like the beginning of something good, okay? It's not set in stone, but maybe something that you've been wanting deep down. You're gonna get some sort of surprise about this, and I want you to come back to this video and let me know what it was for you. I will do the same thing. I'll pin it as my comment below because I'm really excited to find out what it's going to be for me. So what should you do during this time? We want to be doing analytical things, any heavy thinking things. Your mind is going to be clear, sharp, crystal clear, lots of mental clarity. You're going to be detail oriented thanks to the Virgo energy. So do things that require deep thinking. You want to clean house literally and figuratively. So organize a drawer. And also organize your feelings or, your thoughts around a topic. Bring awareness and consciousness to anything coming to the surface like we talked about earlier. Pay attention to your feelings. Be aware of your feelings. Be mindful of them. Letting go of negative habits and maybe taking on a new positive one. And we want to be focusing on reworking our daily routine to include those positive habits. So maybe you had some intentions that you set at the beginning of this year. It's time to return to those and to maybe rework them so that they work for you better with your daily routine. And like I was saying, a lot of good is going to come from helping others, especially if you've been down lately. Just being of service to others, giving, doing something kind for a neighbor or a friend. Now I have 6 journal prompts for you, and these will be good to really just see what's underneath, what's in the depths of the subconscious, and let those thoughts kind of start coming to the surface so that you can work through them during the full moon. So number 1, and I'll have these all in the description below. What changes am I experiencing in my life right now? Number 2, what has been causing me anxiety lately? Number 3, what habit am I ready to let go of? Number 4, what habit am I ready to create? Number 5, what has my intuition been pointing me to? And number 6, what project or work am I ready to complete? And I am feeling like we want to do a card pull from our Rumi deck. Of course, things fell out, so actually I want this one. I've never seen this card before, and this is what popped up. So this is Whirling Goddess. Whirling Goddess. Beautiful card. Let's see. I was gonna do my whole tapping in, but this popped out, and it honestly shouldn't have popped out. So we're gonna see what it wants to tell us because it chose for us. So this might be for you, my love. This one came to us also. Sacred Soul Sister also fell out. This is your deep self. So I'm not going to read Sacred Soul Sister, but your deep self is highly connecting with you right now, letting you know you're not alone. You're not going through anything alone. You can always ask for help. You can always connect to this higher version of yourself. That's what your Sacred Soul Sister wants you to know. Whirling Goddess. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Rumi. Come, my love. Are you dizzy yet? If you can still find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There's a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than an initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music, the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. So this is powerful because normally in full moon readings, I like to warn and caution against reaction, but I didn't in this full moon. This didn't come up for me. And instead, in juxtaposition to that, Whirling Goddess is asking us to lose our head, to go a little wild, go a little crazy and see what happens. So let me continue reading the explanation. There's somewhere you are meant to be. It is here now in this moment. There's a gift right under your nose and fragrant wine in your glass, gleaming red as the most precious rubies. To be here now, you must pass through the keyhole, but your head will tell you this is not possible unless the door is unlocked, even though your body is passing through the keyhole of that locked door into the endless world beyond. Leave your mind to be in its struggles for a moment. Without you laying witness to it, your mind will become like the dog howling for his master's return, even as he steps out the front door. So leave your mind trusting, chewing a little until you are truly through the keyhole where it can rest. Leave it be. Instead, come dance with me. This oracle brings you a message. You are at the point of growth where your mind can hold you back rather than urge you forward. If you have, like so many, used your mind to support you, to shore up your sense of self in the world, and to gain a sense of certainty about how the world works, then this is no easy leap. It will seem as though you are being asked to pass through the keyhole. Of course, your mind will stop and argue for all the reasons why the door should be opened instead of remaining closed, making the task seem so much harder than it needs to be. But this is the mind in resistance. Don't place too much stock in the claims that life should be other than it is. You're being asked to dance rather than understand, to lay the thoughts to rest and to come alive. It is the bravest, most trusting soul that dares put the mind to one side and say, tonight we dance, my heart and I, in the great rousing music of the beloved's beating heart, and I will not miss one step, and to awaken the next day and do that all over again and again and again. That's such a powerful oracle, especially around such a heady, mindful time where the Virgo energy wants to make sure you're doing everything the right way. This oracle is asking us to kind of like let caution go. Throw it all to the wind and dance. Just do it and be it and feel it. So maybe this Piscean energy is overwhelming the Virgo and it's wanting us to just lose ourselves a little bit and lose resistance and let go. Just surrender to the great mystery. Ooh, that feels nice to me. I hope that this energy reading was helpful to you. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let me know what's up, how you're feeling. It really helps the channel and it keeps us connected and in conversation. I love you so much. And until next time, as always, keep your vibrations way, way, way up. Bye.